Recently breaking news is covered in this episode. The first of multiple filings that BITWISE has made for the XRP exchange-traded fund ETF was officially released last night. This submission will only act as a ripple effect, following in the footsteps of the conventional snowball effect. At the very pinnacle of the pyramid, we were talking about the exchange-traded fund ETF. Before we had our conversation about 5 months ago, an exchange-traded fund ETF for XRP was on the horizon. 2025 is the year that it will be introduced to the market, and institutional money will be participating. Following that, let's take a more in-depth look at the grayscale, the activities that are being made with the trust, and how this information served as the basis for the exchange-traded fund ETF. In the following, we will review the BITWISE submission. Please have a seat now that you have a better understanding of what it symbolizes and what our goal is. Let's take it from there, shall we? Welcome back. Take some time to relax, and let's start with Bitcoin. There has been a decrease of $61,500, or 3.83%, during the course of the preceding day, with Ethereum at $24.63 as the closing price. Currently, it is not available for use, and with XRPS trading at a pitiful 59 cents and USDT and USDC trading at their respective dollar benchmarks, the total market capitalization of cryptocurrencies has declined by 6.28% to $171 billion. This is due to the fact that XRPs are trading at that price. People, what is the price that we should pay? To what should we be directing our attention at this moment? This is a straightforward situation. However, there is still a CME for Bitcoin. Having said that, the success rate of this item sinking back down and closing them is not contingent on it coming near. This was something that we said earlier. To tell you the truth, it is not always necessary for it to be in the range of low to mid $50,000. You are required to pay for it, yet it is present. Regarding attention, it is a valid target to focus on. Since quite some time ago, I have been informing you that I have not yet invested any of my money in these markets. To this day, it continues to be a spectator sport. I need to find out whether or not we will have one. Regarding Bitcoin, it is necessary for us to keep this range. It is possible that we will return to the predicted CME gap if we are unable to ensure that our present range, which is between 60 and 62, or potentially even between 59 and 62, is maintained. I do not feel that we are going to remain in this position for a very long time, and I do not believe that this downturn will occur if we are successful in closing this gap. Suppose it does take place this month, how will we determine whether or not to invalidate it? The straightforward objectives have not altered. It is necessary for Bitcoin to reach a price that is greater than $74,000 in order for us to close that gap. I will miss you. It is important to keep in mind that these voids are not always filled, and just because they are not filled does not mean that we will revisit that line for XRP. We are all in a state of fear, but it is only a matter of 60 cents before we reach our initial resistance level, which we need to surpass. Following that, we will be able to talk about the cost of XRP. Why hasn't the price of XRP increased now that BITWISE has stated that they would be launching an exchange-traded fund ETF? Why should it be the case? The file is all that it is. The SEC has not yet granted us authorization to proceed. It is still necessary for us to verify that the exchange-traded fund will be introduced the following year. The launch of exchange-traded funds ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum led to a decrease in the prices of those cryptocurrencies, which was then followed by strong rallies and price gains. In the similar way, XRP will experience the same thing. Nevertheless, the mere notification of its rejection does not guarantee that it will be approved to proceed. It is important to keep in mind that the Ripple v. SEC litigation might be resolved in only 5 days. Did you notice how easy this is? Whether you buy and hold or not is irrelevant. See the name. The Binance V Wallet is another non-fungible token NFT initiative that is carrying out our actions. However, you can't say that it has changed much in the previous month because they have piled practically all of their coins. According to my interpretation, this suggests that they are prepared to undergo yet another large pump this year. The quality of this wallet has been impeccable, and it continues to sell a day or two ahead of my expectations. You should give this a careful look, and there you have it. The history of your Binance wallet is viewable. Specifically, there is a reason why the value of Binance is increasing. Due to the fact that they are aware that this is a problem that is associated with pumps, they will either list it on VOA or B. It is my belief that both of them are aware of this. I am of the belief that things are going to explode, and you are aware of what will be one of the most successful gainers in the year 2025. Because I have VO and because I write a lot on VO in the news, I feel that the quality of the content that is hosted on that platform will continue to increase over time. It is anticipated that this pattern will continue, particularly as we get closer to the beginning of this historic bull market. Ron, there is no major exchange that lists VO as a token. On the other hand, what do you think will happen to the price if it gets listed on a major exchange at this point in time? You are able to use Uphold, but not everyone is interested in doing so. Although not everyone is interested in using Uphold, everyone appreciates using it. I am an affiliate for Uphold, and I support the company. I am able to attest to the fact that this is going to reach new heights once it is made available to the general public and customers start asking questions about V. In addition to remaining steadfast in my commitment, I am also patiently waiting, as I said earlier. Currently, the value of this item is 1.2 cents, but there is a possibility that it could be worth 1 penny again in the future. Because I feel that the value of this asset could increase by a factor of 300 or perhaps 100 times, I intend to give myself a few $1,000,000 as a reward. Cryptocurrencies that can be relied upon, such as look, how tall is he? And S, I have made a commitment in the past to purchase PSI after my quantitative DCA has been averaged out. Initially, I had the intention of rotating into XLM, however. I have made the decision to visit the S network instead because it has a really good pump. I will purchase this item if the price has decreased even further. Why am I holding out for this? We were able to reach that number because this numeric value, $78, is my DCA. T is not the same as quant. Since I didn't manage to hold it on Monday, I'm just going to keep stacking, which is approximately $800 per week, until I get my DCA, which should arrive somewhere in the near future. Awaiting its arrival at the DCA, the price of the quant is now hovering about $76 at this instant. The implementation of this plan will continue to have my backing. Let's not forget about Grayscale's XRP trust, shall we? In accordance with what we had previously discussed, Grayscale established the trust as a building block. With regard to an XRP exchange-traded fund ETF, what role does the trust play? Grayscale's trust makes it possible for those who would rather not engage in trading their own cryptocurrencies or create a cryptocurrency wallet to make use of the resources that Grayscale offers through the trust. A trust can be utilized by institutions in order to ascertain the level of demand for an asset. If there is demand, an exchange-traded fund ETF will be produced. When it comes to this procedure, trust is the initial layer. Since it is abundantly evident that people are interested in XRP, the next step that makes the most sense is to establish an exchange-traded fund ETF, which is something that we have been talking about for the past 5 months. What discoveries do we make next? Using bits, this is the portion of the block that the manager of the cryptocurrency index fund validated and shared with the block yesterday. In it, he states that he did, in fact, signal that the Delaware file for the BITWISE XRP ETF was authentic. The fact that this registration was in fact made by US is something that we are able to validate here, as underlined for your convenience. Using Bits, Wednesday was the day that Chief Investment Officer Matthew Hogan shared the news with the block. In light of the fact that this is the registration of a trust entity in Delaware, let us pay very close attention. It is possible that we will talk about further facts and observations tomorrow. At this very moment, let's examine what new information concerns the XRP exchange-traded fund ETF that becomes public. Believe me when I say that this is often referred to as the BITWISE XRP ETF excuse. To all of you, I do not believe that this is genuine. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm interested in whatever it is that the institutions want. XRP, which is approximately among their top 4 holdings or biggest holding, is what the institutions are looking for. The exchange-traded fund ETF will make it easier for institutional money to enter the world of cryptocurrencies, more specifically into XRP. The fact that XRP is their 4th largest fund, accounting for 2% of all the funds that they manage, is something that you should be aware of. Besides that, what else do you find funny, or what else do you find peculiar? A few days from now, BITWISE will be giving a presentation at Swell. What about all of the whales that we observed on Monday amassing a huge quantity of XRP? In the meantime, what about them? We weren't sure. Where is all of this XRP coming from? Why do they choose to make such a large purchase of XRP at that particular location? I am certain that there is a rationale behind this, and I will disclose it the following day. The fact that he has bid wisely and positioned himself to XRP ETF is, in his opinion, extremely noteworthy. In the short term, he believes that this is most likely a call option on the election that will take place in November. It is important to keep in mind that the outcome of the election will have a significant role and an important impact on the cryptocurrency markets. BITWISE, on the other hand, has a great deal of credibility. BITWISE is a corporation that employs a crypt fund strategy that does not simply throw things at an obstacle that cannot be overcome. This is strategic in nature, with the argument that the XRP ETF is most likely a political concern here in the short run, arriving at some point, but I think it's all reversible over time. But the longer-term plan is to deliver this as an